Hey guys, it's Scott here and welcome to some FUT Champions highlights. Hopefully you do enjoy this video. If you do, hit the thumbs up button down below, subscribe if you're new, and go and follow us on Twitch if you're not already, if you want to see the daily live streams that these videos are then made from. Also, if you haven't already, then I am doing a 7-minute squads over on Jack's channel. You can get the link to that in the description of this video, and my episode will be up tomorrow. But we're going to start things off. So if you don't know how this works, then basically I'm going to show you the highlights of each of my games that I played over the weekend and analyse a couple of them. Not loads this week because what I wanted to do was I wanted to look at my own losses this week and really focus on those and see where I potentially could have improved. Now in some of them there are clear improvements and mistakes that I make, and I want to try and show those off to try and help you and myself improve potentially by looking at those things and then reacting on them in future scenarios by thinking, oh, I conceded a goal like that before. Let me set my defence up a little bit differently, something like that. So that's the aim of this, is to try and help everybody get better at the game together. Now, we got elite last week, and I really wanted to do this kind of video for last week's games for my first time of getting elite in the weekend league this year. However, the footage corrupted. Brilliant. So, unfortunately, we couldn't do that. And so, I would like to do this going forward pretty much every week, because now I've got my editing process like scaled to a point where I can do it a lot easier than I did before. Now that I've got the initial template, I guess, for like all of those stingers and everything you're seeing, the transitions, all of that, it's a lot better for me. And speaking of going better for me, our start was pretty good so far. You're seeing that we're scoring a lot of goals. First game, I think we scored like 6 goals, and somehow the guy didn't quit. Mbappe was in this team for this weekend. Now, if you missed how I managed to get Mbappe and Idrissa Gay into my team for this week, then you should go and watch the rewards video that I uploaded the other day, because that highlights everything, basically. We managed to get Mbappe untradeable, and so we obviously had to get him in the team. And he is so sick. So he replaced Aguero in my team, and Idrissa Gay replaced Doucouré. Now in the future, I may switch out Wijnaldum back for Doucouré, but for chemistry reasons and everything like that, you saw the team at the very beginning. It works as it is. Just about everyone other than Kyle Walker is on full chemistry. And you can see we started off really well. Like, we're smashing it. We're scoring tons of goals. Some of the interplay is really nice. Like, we're just playing good FIFA. And we're 4-0 at this point, which is not too shabby whatsoever. And I'm enjoying the team. I'm enjoying Mbappe. And one thing that I have noticed by not even recording this yet, like this part of the video, but just by editing together the highlights of all the goals and everything like that, what I was doing at this point was I was just giving Mbappe the ball and banging it a lot of the time. And that was enough. And I feel like later on in the weekend league, I stopped trusting him as much. And I don't know why, because he's absolutely outrageous on this game. We are now 5 wins up, right? 5-0. And basically the title of this video is going to be something along the lines of the most efficient way to score in FIFA 20. Now, you've just seen it from Mane there, and I'm going to touch on it a lot during this video because I started noticing a trend as I was editing together the goals. And you'll see how I find it easiest to score. Now, this, as you can see, is not going well. He has Neymar and Mbappe, who are obviously both absolutely outrageous in this game. And he manages to go 3-1 up. I do bring one back to make it 3-2, but then he scores a 4th. So what I wanted to do was, for my first loss, I wanted to show you a couple of problems and things that I did wrong in a couple of the goals. Like, some of them were okay, but others were not as good. So, this is the first one. Firstly, why didn't I kick it out to the winger rather than playing it into trouble? I don't know. Now, this is where I make a mistake with Van Dijk. Okay, you may have noticed it there. I don't commit. So here with Van Dijk, I move him slightly closer to Ben Yedder, and then I move him away. I need to commit to one of the two. So I need to either shut down Ben Yedder so he cannot play that through ball to Neymar, or I need to track that run and move Van Dijk backwards. Because as it stands, all I do is open up the space, and I let him score very, very easily by doing that. So I noticed that going forward, even in games where maybe I won, but I conceded a couple of goals, a lot of it was not getting tight enough to the man. Now, that second goal, I got done by a drag back. This one, again, I got done by a drag back, but what am I doing, right? So Virgil van Dijk, where am I putting him? He's not marking anyone. He's getting further away from Neymar. I then move over with Kyle Walker here, and again, close him down. Because if I close him down, he can't play that pass. And unless I have my guy exactly in the right position to block that pass, which I didn't, he's going to be able to do that easily. He had 2 players available to pass to. And again, this one, I got done by a drag back. So drag backs are a very, very strong theme in today's episode. But those are the kind of games where I feel like if I defend a little bit more with a bit more aggression, then it'd work. Yet again, right there, you see the theme, okay? Drag back, near post. Now, we did manage to win the next game on penalties, which was a little bit dodgy, because I'm not a massive fan of penalties, especially as this patch still hasn't come in yet, in order to actually not be able to see the head movement. So, this game right here, we go into, I think we're 6-1 at this point. Now, I'll show you that goal at the end of this game, okay? Because again, there are multiple things wrong. Now there, I feel I got a bit unlucky. With the Idrissa Gay tackling him, and then the ball just bounces back to him. It's one of those goals where there's a bit of fault by me, but a bit of just bad luck. So, Mbappe, yet again, drag back, near post. This is the way to score, okay? If you basically fake one way and then go the other way, it's very hard as a defender to read that. So, that's my tip. Now, for this goal, stop. The guy on the ball is not the worry. That guy up there is the worry, and I needed to switch to Van Dijk to close him down. Because Hernandez was running away from goal, he wasn't a worry. Now here, on this one, Idrissa gets unlucky. Here, I make a big, big, big error. And you can tell that I make the error because the little icon above Rio's head disappears. That means I'm holding down the right bumper, or R1 if you're on PS4, and we'll come back to that in a second. Wijnaldum here, I needed to switch to him. Okay, he is the guy that should be applying the pressure to hit Paulinho, because now that is our back 3, and we have a triangle rather than a line. Gnabry has loads of space to go into and score. But what I was saying with the second goal was, I second man pressed when I didn't need to. And that's something that I don't actually do wrong that often. So that was a bit of an odd mistake for me to make, because I don't do that much second man pressing at all, let alone in a situation where it is completely unnecessary. So that one, again, was partially unlucky that Idrissa didn't get the tackle, and then I made my own mistake in order to concede. So if you look at the goals that you concede and the games that you lose, you can start to notice a couple of little patterns. And we'll get through that as we keep going through the episode, as we just get some nice goals here. But yeah, if you're not shooting at the near post, what are you doing? Basically, by far the most efficient way to score on this game. That was a beautiful goal. I can't even be annoyed at that. My opponent scored a very, very nice piece of play. I never saw that pass coming to Willian, so fair play to the guy. I do still manage to win. He rage quitted 2-1 after scoring such a sick goal. Bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. But you see now, this game was interesting. So I hit the post with Mbappe right there, and I had already hit the post, I think, with KDB in this game, or with Mane. I'm not entirely sure. You can tell what's about to happen here. So I don't know how Rio did not intercept that. And then, again, I feel like a common theme is occurring. I'm not getting tight enough to the attackers. Because we've all had it. I mean, like that right there, that's unlucky. I tackle him twice, he still keeps the ball. I personally don't really understand how he managed to keep it, and then he scores a header, which rarely happens on this game, but that was a loss right there. But you've probably had it yourself where you are trying to wiggle about with your striker, and you're looking away from goal because their defender is just in the back of you, and you can't go side to side. So I think I need to be much more aggressive in certain instances in my defending and actually just press the guy with the ball. Because then that shuts off his ability to dribble, it shuts off his ability to play a pass into another player, and I feel like that's something that I've noticed by rewatching the highlights of each of these games, that was a recurring theme in this weekend that I did wrong. Now, things I did right was play with Mbappe. But again, here, what am I doing? Genuinely, does anyone have any idea what that defending was? Now, this was a very, very unlucky way to lose. It was a nice touch by Neymar and a nice finish, but I intercepted it with Idrissa, and it just bounced off of him, unfortunately. Now, again, for those of you that may still be interested, I'm definitely down to do a free kick tutorial video because we're still scoring bangers with KDB from them, even from very close range. But in terms of my defence this weekend, yet again, I mean, that's just awful defending. And the previous game, the space that I left Messi was just embarrassing, to be honest with you. Some of the goals that I scored, like that one, were very, very nice this weekend. And I think going forward, that is what the title is about, right? That is what I need to do as much as possible. Do a drag back at 90 degrees and bang it at the near post. It works insanely well this year because near post is so good. Mbappe, by the way, is just outrageous. He's a bit of a cheat, to be honest. And I really, really like the guy. But doing that near post banger after a drag back has proved very, very good for me. And you've seen that I've conceded quite a few goals because I've been done by a drag back. So yet again, I need to get tighter to the opposition players in order to stop that from happening as much as it does do. Now, some of these games, I look back at them and I watch more than the highlights that I put in the episode. And so, for example, in that game, I only show the 2 goals, but I look at the other chances and stuff like that to try and help myself improve. And there are a couple of things that I don't do right. Like, there are some games where I'm way too predictable. That's unfortunate. We tackled Son, bounced straight back to him. Damn it. This was one of those games that just annoyed me. The first goal, I tackled him and he kept the ball. The second goal, I mean, look at it. The ball just bounced to it bounced off of Son's foot, or Sané, sorry. And then he managed to volley it, which was unfortunate. But I think that post hit pretty much summed up everything that was going on in this game. It was one of those games of FIFA, right? And then we managed to lose because I just didn't get tight enough to Son. I left him too much space early on. And we go into the last few minutes of extra time, and Mbappe comes up clutch again. However, one of the worst penalties that I've done all year cost me the penalty shootout. I mean, even if I'd scored that, I would have needed to save his in order to get back into it, but just wasn't very good, to be honest with you. This next game coming up, right, I lost to a header after hitting the post twice. There were a lot of things that kept going on. Now, in this game, I thought he was offside at the time, and I've frozen it right here. It's the tightest offside call I've seen on this game. I literally freeze framed it, and if he had passed that ball 1 frame later, he would have been offside. So you can see some of these losses. It's why I'm not fully analysing every single one of them, because some of them, we're just getting a bit of bad luck, right? And maybe my defensive players, for some reason, are in a bizarre position. His attacking players do something amazing, yada, yada, yada. Or maybe it's just amazing play by my opponent, and even if I tried my best, I probably wouldn't be able to stop it. So, like, that kind of goal is beautiful. I need to mix up my attacking a bit more as well, because there are some times where I'll do things, and it's so obvious what I'm going to do that it costs me a goal-scoring opportunity. But it's why I've not analysed every single game. Is because I don't think I need to. Like that offside goal that cost us there. Well, non-offside, the one I thought was offside. It's just one of those. And there's not really much you can say, to be honest, in those kind of scenarios. As we see, yet again, the drag back near post combination is the best way on this game to score. This guy was good. right? He had Ronaldo, and at least 2 of his goals were really, really nice play. And this is what I mean about Mbappe. I think I left it way too late in the weekend league to start trusting him more. So we're 14-8, which is tragic, because last weekend we got elite, right, for the first time. And I was in an awful mood, and it didn't go well. This was now the final stream of FUT Champs moving into now. We start off with a win, and we had the positive vibes going. We got the playlists ready on Twitch and everything. By the way, what a touch by KDB that was to start off this attack. You can see where this is going. And we were just in a much better mindset, and I think that really, really helped me. But also the fact that, again, I was trusting my players. Look at the composure, by the way. It ends up being a slightly lucky goal, but still, the composure on Sterling and Mane. I had a lot more faith in Mbappe, and I don't know why I didn't before. But like I say, the guy is unreal. You'll see his record at the end of the weekend, and I love him, basically. I absolutely love the dude. But again, more things like that, right? In previous games, I maybe would have shot that. But slowing the game down, making myself unpredictable, playing that ball to KDB, so it takes it from a low chance of a goal-scoring opportunity to a really, really high one. That's what I didn't do enough of in my, I'd say, middle 10 games this weekend league. I made way too many errors in that, and I rushed my games, and I just wasn't calm enough as we were going through those that middle set of 10, unfortunately. And you can see the difference in, like, I mean, that was nice. But you'll see the difference in, like, some of the goals that I'm scoring in these games. That was sick, Mbappe. I'm telling you, he's so good. La Croqueta actually works on this game. There are some games where you will see the goals that I'm scoring, and they'll look 10 times better than other games. And it's because I was just playing better FIFA, right? Sometimes that is all it comes down to, right? One game, you may be making silly mistakes, but like right there, I saw that he had a player that was keeping me onside, and so I just played it through to Mbappe. Whereas in other games, I might not have seen that because I just wasn't in the right mindset and had the right mentality, stuff like that. I don't know. It's hard to describe at times, but I think the main thing to take from this weekend league for me is trust my amazing players like Mbappe more than I did. And again, I don't know why I didn't. That was shocking defending. Again, I don't need to analyse that. I was just awful and all over the place. I needed to get tighter to his players. So defensively, I need to get tighter. And I think that is going to help me a lot. That's a very unfortunate goal. Those are the kind of ones you can't do anything about. But I need to be more aggressive in my defending. At the right moments, though. Not charging my players out of defence all the time. But if I can see an opportunity to get stuck in and potentially block off a passing lane whilst charging at a guy, I need to do it more. I need to be better at decision making and defending, because there are times where I don't know what I'm doing, basically, and I go forward and then I come back, and then I probably should have stayed forward or should have stayed back the whole time, and there are mistakes like that that have happened multiple times to cost me games this weekend league. So I need to do that, but going forward, all you need to do, everybody, drag back and then bang it at the near post. Right? That's what we've learned from this weekend league. So Mbappe is sick, as you can see right there. Some of the dribbling he has is just mad. So unfortunately, we don't finish elite this week. We do get 20 and 9. Mbappe's record, 30 games, 30 goals, 9 assists. He's outrageous. Idrissa Gana Gueye was a very good introduction to the team as well. But there you go. So, if you did enjoy it, thumb it up, subscribe, and get ready for that 7-minute squads tomorrow. Make sure you're following us on Twitch if you want to see daily streams over there. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.